friend, so I just sat down to fill in my expense tracker for the week. It is a Saturday, so my week for my budget starts out on Tuesday. I'm supposed to track as I go, like day by day, and yet here it is Saturday and I'm just now sitting down to start like writing down what I spent. Don't be like me, don't do this, because I guarantee you I've spent more than I should have because I haven't been paying attention to what I've been spending. You know, we're all human, sometimes this happens, things fall through the cracks, but, yeah, do not recommend. Anyway, I started to write it in, and I'm like, wait, I should be filming this. So, I went ahead and set up my camera. We're gonna go through everything I spent this week. Hopefully it's not too much. I'll get everything kind of caught up, and then I'll probably check in again on Monday before I close out my budget. And I'll film that as well. So it'll be like a couple of different clips I'll just string together. And let's stop talking and just start doing. So starting out with 11/9, that was the first day of my week. My week starts on Tuesday since that's when my husband gets paid. So we're looking at all the expenses from the 9th through the 15th. Today is the 13th, so I have to track 9, 10, 11, 12, and anything we've spent so far on the 13th. So let's get into it. This is my expense tracker. I have this available in my Etsy shop. I don't use the like deposit and ending balance section. I created that mostly so that people who want to use the expense tracker that way can do that when they buy my printable. I just write in my withdrawals for each section. Most of these categories are cash categories for me, so yeah, that's just how I do it. That's what works for me. Do what works for you. Budgeting is pretty personal, I think. So we're going to go ahead and start out with my groceries for the week, which was Walmart. I did film a grocery haul of this stuff, so I will link that in a card above for you if you missed that, but I need to figure out how much I actually spent, because the total I spent was $162.45, but some of the things I purchased were for my mother-in-law, and I need to get her to reimburse me for those, so I gotta figure out how much she owes me and subtract that from the top. So, math's not my strong suit. We're just gonna kind of take it one step at a time here. I did buy one of these super cute clicky calculators that everybody in the budgeting community has because I'm a follower, not a leader, but, I mean, how cute is this? It was stupid expensive, but so cute. And I think that the clicky noise is super satisfying. So, the total I spent, as I mentioned, was, where did it go? $162.45, and I purchased my mother-in-law a bag of cat food, which was, I'm just literally scrolling through my order. I don't even know if you guys can see it. $14. So we're going to subtract 14, and we're going to subtract her cat litter, which was $8.48. That gives me a total of $139.97. I'm just going to write in $140 because I don't deal with the change. So that was my kind of first transaction for the week. It was a food transaction from Walmart. And now we just keep on rolling. What else did I spend this week? Alright, so that takes care of my first transaction. Let me actually zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see a little better. And we're going to talk about the next thing on my list here, which is another food expense. So I did all this grocery shopping and then I was lazy and overwhelmed with like decision fatigue on what to make for dinner, so we just ordered a pizza. So I'm just gonna write that in here. And the amount that we spent was $47. That's for my family of 4. Delivery pizza is so darn expensive. And in fact, we didn't even have it delivered. We went and picked it up. So yeah, crazy amounts of money, but that's what happens when you're lazy. I should have just bought like a frozen pizza. That would have been the smarter thing to do, but I didn't. Next thing on the 9th was we broke the turntable on our microwave. It completely chipped off a big corner of it. Well, not a corner, it's round, but so I needed to replace that. And we did that through Amazon, and I took that out of our miscellaneous budget, and that amount was $28. We had an overabundance of money in our miscellaneous envelope, so that worked out just fine. And then the last thing was I went ahead and paid a little tiny transaction we put on our Kohl's credit card. I had a ton of Kohl's cash, and we had a bunch of coupons, so I went and bought my son a bunch of clothes from the clearance rack, and the amount that I had to pay out of pocket was $3. So I could have taken that out of our clothing sinking fund or our school sinking fund. Either one of those would have been fine, but ultimately, again, since we had so much in our miscellaneous envelope, I just went ahead and took it out of there. And as I mentioned, that was a whole $3. I love Kohl's. I love their clearance section. I love their Kohl's cash deals. I feel like that's the most inexpensive way to get clothing for my kids. Well, it's really just my youngest son now is the only one I'm buying clothes for. We always hit the jackpot at Kohl's, it seems like. Okay, so I believe that was everything on the 9th. Moving on then to the 10th, we paid all our bills this day. So we went ahead and paid DTE, which is a bill. That is our electric bill, and that amount that we paid was $193. Then we, at the same time, went ahead and paid Michigan Gas, which is our gas bill. And that amount came in at $42, I believe. Yes, $42. And then I also went ahead and made my extra... Whoopsie, sorry about that. I forgot to change my battery pack before I started filming this. My battery just died. Luckily, I have plenty of batteries, like backup batteries, charged and ready to go, but if the angle changed or whatever, that would be why I had to switch batteries. So what was I saying? Oh, our extra debt payment. So we're currently working on our Chase card, and the amount that I had budgeted to pay in extra debt this week was $170, so that is what I went ahead and paid. And that was everything for the 10th, so that was good. On the 11th, we had quite a few transactions. A lot of them were for sinking funds or for my business, little business expenses. But I still put them here under this expense tracker so that I remember to like true up my accounts. I don't have like a specific business credit card. I struggle to even like consider my YouTube channel here, my Etsy shop, a business because it's just so much fun. I really need to get better about separating things out, but most of the time I just put everything on my personal credit card and then I pay myself back. And so that's what I've done here. And I do the same thing with my sinking funds. I have cash set aside for sinking funds, but most of the time I will just swipe my credit card and then I'll pull the cash out of the sinking funds, deposit it into the bank, and then pay the credit card. So that's what I put in here. This money doesn't technically come from my husband's paycheck this week or anything like that, but it is all money that I need to account for this week. So it gets put in the expense tracker nonetheless. And I will also write it in my sinking funds tracker when I do all that jazz. Okay, so, first up, I need to go into my blessings envelope. I have a little envelope in my budget binder for my business that I've just set money aside to either do giveaways with or to use to help support other small business owners. And I actually did a little super chat in a live stream for my friend Chrissy, and that was $5. So I need to pull that $5 out of that envelope, put it in my wallet, and then deposit it in the bank when I go and make my weekly deposit. So that happened on the 11th. I also did a Stitch Fix renewal, so I have the Style Pass for Stitch Fix. It's an annual thing. I don't think everybody can get the Style Pass. I think it's just like randomly selected. They offer it to you. It's $49. You get as many fixes as you want throughout the year. It's a styling service if you're not familiar with Stitch Fix. And that came due, and that was $49. So I need to pull that out of my subscription sinking fund. I'm actually torn on whether I want to continue to add money to a subscription sinking fund, because it seems like sometimes I take the subscription charges out of my typical budget. Other times I go into my sinking fund. So I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this moving forward, but for now I have the money in the sinking fund, so I'm going to pull it out of there, and that was for Stitch Fix. Okay, the next thing then was a couple of, I guess they're business expenses. See, this is where I get confused and a little torn. I need to consult a tax professional, I suppose. There's items that I purchase that I use in my videos that I think technically can be written off. For example, I bought this calculator. I use it in my videos, so technically it's a business expense, right? I don't know. Either way, I'm going to use the money that I have set aside from my business budget for expenses, just because that's what I want to do. That's how I want to do it. I bought a calculator from Amazon. Yes, I bought, you know, the low-cost calculator that everybody has. And then I bought some planning supplies that I'm going to be using in my budget planner for 2022. So is it a personal expense? Is it a business expense? I don't know. But either way, I took it out of my cash that I set aside from my business for business expenses. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. I don't know. I don't know what the proper protocol is for that. So as I mentioned, we had Amazon. I'm just going to pull it out of my business expenses envelope. And that amount is going to be, what did I say it was? Don't mind my little sing-song voice here. I'm trying to check my statement here to find it, and I can't find it. Oh, there it is. It was $25. Can you believe it? $25 for that silly calculator, but it's so satisfying. And I'm just going to leave my little self a note here that that's what that was for. And then the other thing was, oh, I guess that was it then for business expenses. Nope. The planner stuff. 1111. It was some tab dividers that I'm going to be using in my budget planner. And that was also from Amazon. And it was $14 for that. Okay, so that was all of the business expenses. Going back to sinking funds, I also went ahead and renewed our vehicle registration and my husband's driver's license. His birthday's until January, but they sent all the paperwork. We already had it, and we had the money set aside, so I just went ahead and did that, and we paid it, so that's one less thing to worry about in the new year. So the amount total, we renewed the registration of my car, our motorcycle, my husband's motorcycle, I don't drive the thing, and my husband needed to renew his driver's license, and it was a total of $178. This was Secretary of State, and this came out of our car registration sinking fund. Okay, so that was that. Also, another thing that's going to have to come out of sinking funds, and actually I don't even know if the money is available in my sinking fund, so I might have to hold off on paying the card that I used until the end of the month when I stuff my sinking funds, but that's totally fine. I can do that. I went ahead and ordered my son's contacts. He needed his next 3 months worth. He uses daily contacts. This would typically come out of our medical sinking fund. And that amount was $123. And again, I'm just going to leave myself a note that that's what that was. We actually got a pretty decent deal on his contact lenses. They had a coupon going with Walgreens, so that was good. And then the only other thing on 11/11, there's been so many transactions this week, you guys. When I'm not good about staying on top of it and filling it in as I go, I always spend more. And I know this. You would think I would learn, but no. What was it? Oh, another Amazon purchase, this time from my spending money. I bought myself a second steeper from David's Tea. It was a total of $32. Did I really need it? No. Did I want it? Yes. The David's Tea Perfect Steeper, I think it's called, is my favorite way to steep tea. You guys know I'm a tea fanatic. I drink multiple cups of loose leaf tea a day, and I was tired of having to wash out my steeper every single time. I'm lazy, so I bought a second one. I also have like steeper baskets and stuff, but I don't know. I just love the steeper. Sometimes I will make myself and my husband a cup of tea at the same time. And it's just easier to have 2 steepers. So I probably could have spent my money more wisely there, but I wanted it, so I bought it. All right. Finally moving on to the 12th, which is actually the last day that I need to track because I have not spent any money yet today. Today is the 13th, right? Yes. So at least we're going to have a no spend today. Maybe. So I went ahead and went to my favorite little local diner for a carry-out breakfast on Friday. I went and ran some errands. I took myself to breakfast. I vlogged all of this, so hopefully I get that vlog up for you guys. I don't know if it'll go up before this video or after, but I will link it in a card above if it's already gone up. But that was from the food category, and that was $9. I got myself some biscuits and gravy and some bacon, and it was delicious. Also, I went to Dollar Tree, and this was all like Christmas related stuff, so I'm going to take it out of my sinking fund for Christmas. And it was $14. I did share that with you all in that vlog as well. So this was Christmas cards and gift wrap. So I'm just going to write myself a little note so that I know what that was for. And then also that day I went ahead and went to the post office and I picked up stamps so that I can send out my Christmas cards. So that's also going to come out of our Christmas sinking fund. That was how much? $12. Okay, and then I'm actually lying. I did have a couple purchases today. I just have them written down under the 12th for some reason, so yeah. For one, tonight when we go to my son's first indoor soccer league, I'm gonna have to go and pay that $80. So that's gonna come out of, I guess technically it was under the bills section, so we're gonna just call it that. And that's gonna be $80. And then I also ordered some towels from Kohl's today. Kohl's is having a really good sale on the big one towels. They're my favorite towels because they're relatively affordable, they're decent quality, and they're super cheap. Between the Kohl's cash that I had and the coupons and deals that they had going on, I paid $16 for 8 bath towels, which is amazing. And they're really good quality too. So I'm going to take that from our miscellaneous budget as well. So that was everything. I guess technically these were $11.13. I should be honest, right? $13.13. That's the beauty of erasable pens. So that's a look at everything I have spent so far this week. I will come back at the end of the week, probably on Monday, when I kind of sit down and reconcile my budget for the week, and I'll fill in any other spending we did throughout the weekend, and then we'll go in with my highlighters, color code everything, pull the money out of the sinking fund envelopes that I need to pull to deposit into the bank and all of that, and get set up for my weekly check-in. So I will be back then. Okay, friends, so it is now Monday morning. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my expense tracker for the week. I had a couple more transactions, actually just one more transaction on the 13th after I closed out my filming for the day, and then just a couple of things for the 14th, and then I can go ahead and do my highlighting and color coding and get things all set up and ready for my weekly check-in and budget results video, which you guys will see later on this week. So for the 13th, after I kind of closed everything out, on our way to my son's soccer game, we went ahead and grabbed some dinner. We went to Fazoli's, so that's going to come out of our food budget, and we spent $44. Looking at this, I have had quite a few food transactions, so hopefully we're not over budget. I don't know, I didn't do a good job of keeping track of things. You guys know, I waited until Saturday to start tracking everything, and I haven't looked at any of my expenses since then, so not the best job this week, but hopefully we still did good. And then for the 14th, we had some bills that got paid. So we had HBO Max come out, and that was a bill for a total of $16. It was actually $15.84 or something, but you guys know I always round up because I don't deal with the change. Then we had my Sips Buy box come out, and that was also $16. And then lastly, we did go to Circle K and grab some hot beverages. So my son got like a caramel macchiato thing, and I had a pumpkin spice latte, and so that's more food, and that was $4. So that's everything. Technically today's the 15th, so today is the last day of the budget, but I have no intention of going anywhere, doing anything, or spending any money. Mondays are pretty much always no spend days, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this out now. So the way that I do that is I just go down the list and add everything up. So we're gonna start with food. You guys know that the food color for my color coding system is yellow, so I'm just gonna go in to all of the food transactions, highlight them yellow, and then add them up and get a total so that I know what we're working with when I do my budget results. So this one's food. I'm gonna grab my calculator here. So 140 plus 47 plus, what else there is food? Right here. 9 plus this here is 44 plus 4. So yeah, we have spent quite a bit on food this week. What else is new? So food, is $244. I'm just going to really quickly add that up again and make sure that I didn't miss anything. So 140 plus 47 plus 9 plus 44 plus 4 is 244. So as long as I didn't miss anything, and it doesn't look like I did, we're good there. So that's it for food. Now we're going to go to miscellaneous, and for that I need my green mild liner, which is right here. So we had 28 plus 3 plus 16, and I believe that's everything there, so that was 47. Alright, next we'll do bills, and that goes in blue. So we had DTE for 193 plus Michigan Gas was 42. This is a very sloppy process, so if this is driving you crazy, my apologies, friends. What else do we have for bills? We've got this. $347 in bills, if I didn't miss anything again. So bills is $347. Once again, I'm just going to quickly add those up one more time. Yep, $347 there. All right, next up then I have extra debt, which gets highlighted in gray. And there's just the one transaction for Chase at $170. For business expenses, I think I'm going to need a different color than what I typically use. So I guess I'll do brown, which is kind of a boring color, but we'll go with that. So blessings is part of my business budget. Amazon there. Amazon here. And that's it for that. So that was 44. I'm actually going to put that over here. Alright, then we have subscriptions, which I think I'm going to do in this orangey color. So we had 49 for Stitch Fix, 178 for car registration, 123 out of my medical sinking funds, 14 for Christmas, and 12 from Christmas, for a total of $376 out of our sinking funds. And I actually need to go into my sinking funds and pull out that cash to put into my envelope to deposit it into my checking account so that I can pay the credit card that those items went on. So I will do that off camera because this video is already getting long. Next I have my spending, which I always do in this light purple color. So I had $32 there, and I believe that is it. So everything is highlighted. I don't believe I missed anything. I did double and triple check, so I'm just going to go ahead then and highlight these so that I know they're all closed out. So food is done. Done. Bills. Sinking funds. Business. Miscellaneous. And where did my gray one go? Right there. Extra debt. Alright, so that is everything. My expenses are all kind of closed out for the week. Looks like we had fewer categories this week than last week. I didn't have to put gas in the car. We didn't have anything unbudgeted, so yeah, that's it. So that's everything I spent in the week. I'm all kind of set up and ready then for closing out my budget for the week, which will be a separate video. You guys will see that later on this week, so be on the lookout. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, and I'll see you next time. Bye!